What's going on, Guardians? It's Tizzle here, and in this video, I want to show you how freaking good Vex Mythoclast is now. But before we get into its silly strength, let's look at what Bungie changed about the gun. The patch notes state that they increased damage to red bars by 10%, bosses by 25%, and champions by 200% in the linear fusion rifle mode. I don't have any pre-buff footage for a boss damage, but the boss of this lost sector is coded as a boss, so let's look at it now. And just as a heads up, this is with zero buffs or debuffs or anything, just plain weapon damage so that we can establish a baseline. And it hits for 65,961 damage. That is almost 200,000 damage with its 3 shots. That is some pretty good boss damage for a primary. So now let's compare it to the GOAT linear fusion rifle Cataclysmic. Our first shot hits for 55,249, and then with bait and switch we hit 74,587. So about 10,000 more damage once bait and switch is procced, but that is still very impressive. But now let's look at how this thing slaps champions, because that is where the big buff is. 200% is an extremely huge buff, so here are a couple clips on champions from before. In the first clip we have a Master Lost Sector champion with no Solar Surge on. This is just the base damage of the linear fusion rifle mode. And we hit for 30,200 damage per shot. So 200% more would be 90,600 damage. That is crazy. The next clip we had Solar Surge on, and it was a Legend Lost Sector. So here we hit for 47,070 damage, which after the buff would have been 141,210. So I took it into a Master Lost Sector, but keep in mind I was 1818 light, so I was 22 under base. Normal master content is 20 under and GM content is 25 under, so I was in the middle. And here we hit for 79,839 damage per shot. So this gives a pretty good indication of how it will hold up in GMs. And again, this is with zero buffs, no artifact mods, no surges or debuffs, just Solar Surge because it is the weekly surge. But that being said, there will be a ton of Solar Surge this season, so get used to it. So how about Radiant plus 3 times Solar Surge? That is going to be an extra 52.5% more damage. And here we hit for a whopping 121,754 damage. That is ridiculous. My bait and switch Cataclysmic hits for 52,439 with 3 times Solar Surge. I messed up getting Radiant and Solar Surge together, but with some quick math, it would have been 65,549 damage. So a shot of the Vex linear fusion rifle is hitting for 85.7% more damage than a fully revved up Cataclysmic. And if you take bait and switch out of the equation, it would hit for 2.5x more damage. 48,555 versus 121,754. That's pretty crazy. So now let's throw some artifact mods in here. We use Revitalizing Blast to get a 15% weaken on the champion, and then we have Solo Operative, which stacks with literally everything, so that is another 15% more damage since we're solo. And that hits for a crazy 161,020 damage. So if you're doing solo GMs this season, then Vex Mythoclast could definitely be your friend. It would save you so much heavy ammo thanks to being able to use it on pretty much all the champions. Oh, and if you're curious about all those buffs and debuffs, we have 1.25x from Radiant, 1.22x from 3 solar weapon surges, 1.15x from Revitalizing Blast, and 1.15x buff from Solo Operative. All these together give you 2.017x damage, and these can be used in your solo flawless run for the new dungeon, and any dungeon for that matter. And that doesn't even include the 1.25x from Solar Surge for the activity. Surges aren't on in regular dungeons, but they are in Lost Sectors and Nightfalls, and that would bring the final tally to 2.52x damage. Absolutely crazy. Suffice to say, I'm extremely excited for all the damage stacking we have this season and cannot wait to abuse Vex Mythoclast and solo GMs this season. Anyways, that is it for the video. It's pretty wild, eh? I'm shocked how hard the linear fusion rifle mode hits on champions, but I do love it. Like I said, it is great for ammo economy and solar weapons are super strong this season thanks to all the artifact mods. Anyways, if you found this video helpful or informative, consider leaving a like. If you want more helpful content, subscribe so you don't miss out on future videos. I have lots of testing still to do. Anyways, thanks for watching and take care.